So what we'll do now is we'll finish up this upper side of the parking lot. So similar to the other side over here, what we want to do is drain some of this way. We want to drain some of it this way to this low spot over here. So we've got our 1% going this way, we got our 2% going that way, so we're going to try to match something close to that. So we'll start up in this corner over here, we'll do a line string, and again using the same break line and layer command, and I'm going to start at the end of this point right here. So I'm just simply right clicking using my endpoint snap to get to there. I'm then going to come up to this point here. I'm going to save the elevation, I don't know what it's going to be yet, and I'm going to go into the arc command. So I'm going to pick the not the arc command, sorry, the smooth curve command. So I'm just going to pick the midpoint of the segment, so we'll pick the midpoint of that segment there. We'll hit save, so let it transitions. We'll pick this point here, again transitioning, and then we'll switch it to a straight segment, and we'll go perpendicular to this segment here. Okay, so when we do that, it should pick up the elevation at that point there. Okay. We will do another new line, and this time we'll start at this point here, and we will go straight to that point there. Save the elevation. We will go into a smooth curve, middle of this, save the elevation there, to the endpoint, and then we will go back to a straight segment where we will go perpendicular to here. Right, so it transitions through those spots there. If we take a look at the Window Explorer here and we look at the elevation or the slope, you can see we're at an instantaneous slope of 0.36. So what we need to do is put a high spot on both of these. So if we go back to edit the line string, what we're going to do is switch over to our vertical, and we want to put in a high spot. So what we can do is choose slope intersection, and we'll just pick a point here. So our incoming slope, we drew it in this direction. Our incoming slope is going to be a positive 1.2%, and our outgoing slope will be 2%, negative 2%, because we're going to come down 1.2 that way, positive 2 that way. When I hit save, you can see that it puts a high spot here on our curve or our line. We will then do the same on the other side, where I will put a vertical elevation point. So I'm going to put a slope intersection. Again, the distance doesn't matter. Incoming is going to be 1.2, and the outgoing is going to be negative 2. So that's going to put another high point over there. So we will create a new line where we will go from the endpoint of that line there to the endpoint of that line there. Okay, so you can see our high point of our road. Okay, now we'll do this parking area over here. So I'm going to create another new line, and I'm going to go from the endpoint of this, and we're going to go perpendicular to that segment there. We're going to go up 1%, so we're going to go positive 1% to set that elevation. We will snap this point here. We're going to save, no elevation there, and we are going to right click and go perpendicular to the segment here, and we will take the elevation along this line snap, okay, at this distance, and it should snap in at that same point. Okay, now if we look, we can see we're probably not on the same elevation there, so let's go over here. We're going to add a vertex at that point, and because we drew it this way, it's the outgoing slope this time, and the outgoing slope is going to be a -1%. So it adjusts that. We've got an outgoing slope of -1% and an incoming slope of 1.2%. So we're sloping down this way and sloping that way. So this is matching that 1.2% this way and all going in that direction. Okay. So what we can do now that we have that, we still got a few little minor things to adjust and tweak. But if we go in here and go to take off and build surfaces, it will rebuild those surfaces to include all those areas. Another thing that might be helpful is if we pick that surface and go to the properties and turn on the slope arrows. So by turning on the slope arrows, ignore the building, we can see that we've got drainage going into this low spot here, into that low spot. It's going down into our trench drain. As we work our way around, we're grading over to this area, which is all draining out, all sloping this way, down into our low spots. Same thing here, we're sloping that way. So with the slope arrows, we're able to see, where we're tying into, what we're sloping into, and everything looks pretty good for what we call our general planes. So what we'll do in the next video is show you how we'll grade this out, we'll check some adjustments over here, that should be fine, and we'll fix the building.